In Africa, electricity isn't always guaranteed, but inside a supermarket, power cannot stop. Every minute of outage can put refrigerated food, frozen product, and daily operation at risk. Behind the shelves and checkout counter is an energy-intensive system that demands one thing: reliable electricity, running all day, all year long. So how are some supermarkets solving these challenges? Today, we travel across South Africa and Zimbabwe to visit two leading retail chain supermarkets and discover how they are using solar energy to power their businesses, and most importantly, to find out if the investment really makes business sense.
Okay, so I'm right here in Roots Butchery in Johannesburg in South Africa.
To customers, this looks like any busy supermarket. The shelves are stocked, customers come and go, business run as usual. But behind the scene, a different story is unfolding. Instead of relying entirely on national grid, Roots Butchery has invested in solar energy to power its daily operation.
If you're going to run a business that really depends on power, where your power cannot afford to go off, then you cannot afford to run the business just depending on national grid or using diesel generator, because these are very expensive. But then the alternative energy source like the solar system and the battery system, how reliable are they?
To find out, we spoke to the store management and the team behind the solar installation.
This is the biggest installation that we've done up to date using Naira components, consisting of 192 high voltage batteries, 8 50 kilowatt inverters, and 612 555 watt solar panels.
Amazing. So this is your biggest installation using Naira components?
Using Naira components.
So both Naira battery and inverters?
We've got both the batteries and the inverters, yeah.
So this generates how many electricity?
So on a good day we can generate about 2 megawatts of energy.
2 megawatts?
2 megawatts. And we
daily?
Daily, on a good day.
On a good day?
Yeah, on a good day. And then on a storage capacity is almost a megawatt. Okay. Just below a megawatt.
Okay. Yeah. So all the energy that is generated here daily is all used up, or how does it?
It is all used. Unfortunately, the system doesn't cover 100% of the usage. It only covers 30% of the usage.
How many percentage?
30.
30?
30, yeah.
Wow. So
yeah,
all of this cover only 30?
Only 30. So they consume around about 6 megawatts of energy in a day.
Okay.
So they consume quite a bit of energy. The only setback is panels. Unfortunately, our roof space is full. We can't fit any more panels on top of the roof.
Yeah, I see that the roof is already totally full.
It's full. It's to its max. We can't add any additional panels. So we can add additional panels to the system, but we're looking at putting carports up to create more space to add additional panels. The reason why the customer went for a system like this was because of load shedding. When we started with the system, we experienced a lot of load shedding in South Africa. Okay. And the cost of running a generator. So if you have to run a generator in a full day, it will cost you about 32,000 Rand just to keep the plant up and running. And then you have your maintenance cost, and then you also have a risk if the generator fails.
It's the experts in this area. Is it possible to run a factory like this totally off-grid?
You can. Obviously, the scale of the size of the installation will just be much bigger, but you can definitely, it can be done.
You can do that?
Yeah. Definitely.
Even though it's going to be cost intensive?
It's going to be, it is going to be a costly exercise in the beginning, the initial cost, but I mean, like I say, the repayment on a system like this, anything between say 3 to 6 years, and then after that it's free energy.
So within 3 to 6 years, you can pay off the initial cost?
Yeah.
So anything from there is just free?
Yes.
So if you're looking at long term, running a business that's long term, then probably have to do the initial investment.
I think definitely, and also a lot of times your utility bill will basically cover your loan if you have to compare apples with apples. So what you'll be saving, not paying over to utility, you'll be paying a loan also. It's not necessary to say it's going to cost you an additional amount of money every month. Sometimes you can break even paying a loan back or paying your utility bill. But also, it's like I said, it's reliable, it's stable. It's also very good for your components because we have dirty power where our voltages fluctuate. And so with this system, we've got a much more stable supply, so our equipment lasts much longer. We don't have downtime, and also from a production point of view as well, is you can continue with production even if there's load shedding, because switching over to batteries is instantaneously. It literally takes 4 milliseconds for us to switch over, and sometimes you don't even know that you've lost the grid because it's so quick. Yeah, it's very quick.
Okay. The more you put in this background installation, does it create a greater risk, or there's no risk?
There's definitely a big risk involved in with so many lithium-ion batteries in this small space. So you'll see also we've separated inverters from batteries.
Okay.
That reduces the risk quite significantly. And also we've installed a fire suppression system, a CO2 fire suppression system. So should the fire break out, we can control it.
You have a fire system?
Yeah, we've got a CO2 fire suppression system.
Okay, so it creates an alarm if there's any.
Yeah, it will trigger the alarm, and obviously have CO2 gas fill up the container, and that will contain the fire.
Oh, really?
These are high voltage batteries, and that's a battery management system. Each inverter has 2 racks. So 2 racks are dedicated to an inverter. So this will be for inverter number 8, and this is for inverter number 7, and so we go on up to inverter number 1. As mentioned, this is a high voltage battery, so it's not a domestic. This is not something that you'll likely use in a domestic installation.
So this is mainly for
commercial industrial. Yeah. We've got the generator changeover panel, or DB as we refer to it. Here we select between utility. Should something go wrong with the system, we can select between utility and generator. And here we select between solar and generator or utility, just depending on where the switch is switched onto. As you can see now, it's currently on solar. So should this system malfunction, we have 2 options. We can start the generator and supply power from the generator, or we can supply power directly from utility. So this is purely if something does go wrong. We have the ability to switch between.
So utility is the grid, or what?
Utility is the grid. Yeah. We refer to it as Eskom, which is our energy supplier in South Africa.
Great.
Yeah. This is the generator DB.
Yes.
So in here, so our inverters have three suppliers. Well, we've got obviously PV power supplying power to the inverter. We have a grid or utility input to the inverter, and we also have a generator input to the inverter. So my generator supplies power to this DB board, distribution board, and then from here I supply the inverters with generator power. And I'll explain to you how that setup works.
Okay.
Then inside here we've got the utility DB. So this is where our grid is coming in, or utility power. Again, from here I supply a utility power to each inverter. And this here is my solar DB. So output from the inverters gets combined here, and then from here we supply the battery, the main DB inside the battery. So just to give you a little bit of information on how the system works. So as mentioned, the inverters has utility input, which is grid input, and generator input, and PV power. So it all depends on how you can configure the system. So you'll have, say for argument's sake, we've got time of use that we can set on these inverters, depending on what you want the system to do for you. So say for instance we lose the grid completely and we deplete our batteries up to a certain percentage and we have got no PV production. My inverters will start my generator and then supply power from the generator to the load. And this all happens automatically. We don't have to do anything. Yeah, the moment either the grid comes back on or there's enough PV production, it will stop the generator automatically as well, and then supply power to the load either from batteries or PV or utility, depending on what's available. We try not to run the generator as much as possible due to cost. It's really costly to run a generator to supply power to this size installation.
This is installed in a container like this.
Yes.
So if this was like a region where they have a lot of heat, sun,
yes.
Is it going to affect? When is it going to affect the battery?
Yeah, it's a very valid question. As you can see, that was one of the major concerns I had, was installing all these components in a container. So what we've actually done is we've built a shelter over the container to prevent the sun shining directly onto the container, because it becomes like an oven, and heat and batteries don't mix. It's really bad. For the lifespan on your batteries, you're gonna reduce the lifespan of your batteries. If you exceed the optimal temperatures for batteries to operate is between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. Anything above that will just reduce the lifespan on them. Yeah, so that was a major concern. And also we've installed an aircon unit. So at the back there's a temperature unit that's connected to my alarm system. So the moment we go above a certain temperature, I'll get an alarm stating there's a problem. Then I know that I've got either an AC failure or there's something else wrong. So it's critical to keep these amount of batteries at optimal temperature.
My name's Nkwa, one of the owners of Roots Factory Shop, Festival Mall. It's a hybrid business. We run a retail shop with all departments from bakery, fruit and veg, grill, and mainly focused on butchery, to a processing facility under the same roof. We manufacture ribs, sausages, bacon, pizza toppings and hams under the Berkshire Premium Meats brand. And yeah, this business was founded 4 years in December, so we're nearly 4 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it has been good business, has been very good.
Yeah, it was tough to start.
Okay.
It's a big elephant to get off the ground, but yeah, it's been good.
Well, it's picking up, it's doing very well.
Yeah, each year gets better, and thank God we're blessed. It's been good.
Okay, so your business requires a lot of energy because it has to do with cold room, refrigeration and all of that.
100%.
So when you started, what did you start with? Did you start with the solar system, or you just started running with National Grid and
Yeah, no. So we started out just with the grid and a generator, and we had some significant load shedding to start. We were spending a fortune, and it was actually running into becoming a risk for our business, because running on a generator for long periods of time, it tends to overheat, and we were overdrawing the generator. So we decided to put a fully fledged hybrid solar system through DAE and Explicit Electrical, and that helped us alleviate some of the pressure and the risk of actually losing the grid, losing our power supply from obviously grid failures. And yeah, over time it's saving us a lot of money too. I mean, we dump our electricity during peak hours. We've got a gigawatt hour of battery storage. So yeah, it's really been a good system for us. We save about 30% off our bill, and it amounts to 200 to 250,000 rand a month saving.
250,000 rand a month.
Yes.
That's a lot of money.
Yes.
That's a lot of savings.
Yes.
So that means the system is really good. So how many percentage do you really use the solar system right now?
So we use it to its full capacity. At the moment, it's between 25 and 30% of our total usage.
So
yes.
The other usage, it comes from National
From
Grid?
the grid.
From
yes.
the grid. Oh,
yes.
okay, great. So give us an idea how much it actually costs you to set up a system like that.
This system, we bought it in the peak of load shedding, so components
so
were quite
very
expensive. It has become more cost effective, but the system all in all cost us 16 million rand, including VAT. But yeah, like I say, our repayments about 6 to 7 years. So
6 to 7 years.
yeah, and as electricity becomes more expensive, you're obviously saving more, so
That's right.
it becomes more and more feasible each year.
What we saw at Roots Butchery shows that solar can do much more than provide backup power. It can help reduce operating costs, while keeping critical refrigeration system running during outages. So is this approach unique to one business, or is it becoming a broader trend across Africa? To find out, we also traveled to Zimbabwe.
I'm currently at Food Lovers right here in Harare in Zimbabwe. The Food Lover is one of the biggest grocery stores right here in Zimbabwe, and they actually specialize in fresh produce of all kinds.
Like Root Butchery, the business has invested in solar energy to support its daily operation. But every supermarket has different energy needs. So I wanted to find out how the system has been designed and what impact it has had on the business. So we spoke with the installation team.
So how long Stella Supplies have been working on solar systems?
So Stella has been around for the last 4 years. Started in Cape Town. Obviously we come and put feet down here in Zimbabwe. We've done a number of sites out here, 50 plus big commercial sites in Zimbabwe.
Which sites are we now?
So this is the Food Lovers site in Greendale. This is their new flagship shop, and we've had the privilege of installing our system here. It's working very, very well.
Great. So can you run us through the capacity that you have here right now?
Okay, sure. So we've currently got 6 by 80 kilowatt DAA inverters in place here, which gives us 480 kilowatts of inverter power. Okay. So on the battery bank, we use a 5.1 kilowatt hour battery. We've got 120 of them.
120 of them.
120 of them. Gives us about 600 or so kilowatt hour battery backup. On the roof, we've got an east-west. We've got 1,152 panels. So that's about 650 kilowatt peak of production power from solar.
How many panels are up?
1,152.
1,152.
Yeah.
Up.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
No, it's good. It gives us decent production.
Okay. So all of that you generate right now, what is the kind of power source that the Food Lovers normally run? Are they running hybrid system or totally off-grid?
So it's a hybrid system.
Okay.
So we still rely a little bit on the grid, but basically the main setup of this site is to have the shop and everything running off solar during the day. Okay. And whilst that's happening, we obviously have the batteries charged up. So then you will get a few hours during the night just to get to where either load shedding stops, or if there's still no grid power back, the inverters will get down to 35%. It'll send a signal to the generator. The generator will fire up, and that's the third backup. So the generator will run the load, and it will charge the batteries up. As soon as the batteries have charged up, the inverters will send a signal to the generator. It'll turn it off, and you will start that cycle again. But the main aim is to reduce costs during the day where we can by using solar panels.
So during the day you run the solars?
We run the whole shop off solar.
Night you switched over and start using...
It's all automated. It all does it by itself.
By itself, no switches?
No switches. It's all automated. If the batteries get low and there's no grid to bump the batteries up, the generator will start.
The generator starts automatically?
Automatically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it sends a signal from here straight through to the generator, and it runs. We have the ability to also start the generator from our phones, off the software that we use to monitor. Correct.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, same as the owner of the site. He also has the ability to start and stop the generator when he feels that he needs to do that. But we'd like to have everything set up automated, so you don't have to worry about that. If the grid goes down, the inverters take load and it carries on as usual. The grid comes back, it will either, if it needs to charge the batteries, it can. If not, solar will take over and run it. It's all seamless.
I would like to see this generator because I haven't seen, this is the first time I'm hearing like you seamlessly can start the generator automatically without going to manually start it up. So that's really good setup. But what I really like to understand, so what is the total percentage that this place is consuming or that the solar is providing? Let's say you run the operation for 24 hours. Within 24 hours, what's the percentage of power that is used up here that is coming from the solar? So
it generally depends on the load at the time. But how we've set it up is the shop and everything within the shop will run off solar all day long. Unless you have cloudy weather or anything like that, obviously that'll hamper it, but it's designed to run the whole shop off solar all day long. The battery banks will be charged up, which is also solar power, if you can consider that. Then once we get to nighttime, we've got no solar production. The batteries will take over load and run them down until a certain set point. And if the grid doesn't come back to take over and charge, we'll fire up the generator and then that goes automated. This is this site right now, okay? So we're towards the end of the day now. So our PV production is starting to drop off. Okay, so we're producing 225 kilowatts from the solar panels currently, okay? The consumption of the site is 418 kilowatts.
The conversion of the slide.
So this is the consumption currently.
The PV is producing 225 kilowatts. So in this instance, we want to maintain the battery at 75%. So it's pulling 204 kilowatts from the grid, but it's not using the batteries currently. If the power goes off, the grid fails, the grid will go away and it will start using the batteries until it goes down to 35%. When it gets to 35%, it will send a signal to the generator. The generator will start, power load, and charge the batteries up, and it will keep doing that until it's happy.
The way you're monitoring this, can the owner also monitor this?
100%, yes. The owner will monitor it, we monitor it, and a couple of electricians and managers on site have the app so they can also monitor and see what's happening.
Obviously you can see we've got 6 by 80 kilowatt inverters. Okay, so it's 480 kilowatts of inverter power here. Obviously we've got all of our AC connections in, so all the AC cables in, your DC cables, which is for your batteries, and then all your PV cables, which is for the solar panels. We believe in separation, so all your positives, negatives, all of that sort of thing will be separate. We don't believe in covering them up because of it creates heat, so it's better just have them open nice and neat like this. We've got all of our battery banks, which have their battery disconnects and protections in there.
Okay.
At the back, we've got all of our, let's come have a look here. It's a little bit tight, this room is a little bit small, but for an example, all the way at the back here is all of...
Okay, so what are these ones?
Okay, so you've got so each section is for 15 panels, okay? And you've got an MCB that's rated correctly for the panel. So if there's any problems, that MCB will trip. If I get hit by lightning, surge arrestor will take the strike first, and basically it will protect this. There's also 2 more fuses inside here. So any kind of issue will be shown up here first. And the reason we do that separately on all the strings is so if something does go down, we still have the ability on all of the others to carry on. So the customer doesn't go down for long.
So what are these ones here?
Okay, so this is actually part of the customer's cold rooms. So this is what the inverter, a part of what the inverter is powering. Okay. So each of these is a section of the cold rooms that are installed here. And
so
obviously this is for your cold rooms and refrigeration.
And this is just powering it?
Yes, correct.
Why did you decide to go with DIA products?
We've been working with DIA for quite a while now. My partner Graham, he's worked in South Africa with DIA for a very long time. We've got a good relationship with the guys. The key things for us is the product is very good. Okay. And we put it through the test. We've run these things hard and they do well. Okay. The second thing that's important to us is support. Okay. Support is major. Obviously our clients need the support from us. Right. You know, if we have any issues or things that we can't quite work out, you know, DIA is brilliant. We're able to get on the phone immediately, and 9 times out of 10 it'll be a firmware situation, and it's sorted and we carry on. So we're very, very impressed with the support from DIA.
Although these 2 supermarkets operate in 2 different countries and have different energy requirements, they both reach the same conclusion. Reliable energy is becoming essential for modern retail businesses. Across Africa, more businesses are turning to solar to reduce their energy dependency on grid and keep their operation running. As this transition continues, companies like DIA are helping make it possible through commercial inverters, battery storage system, and intelligent energy management solution. From Root Butchery in South Africa to Food Lovers Market in Zimbabwe, these businesses show that the future of retail isn't just selling foods. It's about protecting products, reducing operating costs, and building a more reliable, resilient, and sustainable way to power business.